The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome, everybody, to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks, coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening to us on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you could stream the show from the station website at MediaLex.us to listen to us from anywhere in the entire world. I am broadcasting from the WLXU studios here at MediaLex on North Limestone. Today is Thursday, May the 28th, 2026, 4:01 to be exact. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode. I am very excited about this episode because this episode will be an episode where I bring on a special guest for the entire hour, and he will be joining me in the next segment, and I am excited for you guys to listen to this conversation that I had with a young entrepreneur and podcast host, Tristan Clark. He is a 22-year-old entrepreneur from Richmond, Kentucky, and he is the founder of Clark Construction, LLC. He was raised in a family of construction entrepreneurs, and that helped him develop a passion early for building and bringing people's vision to life. Through his company, he and his team of specialized people, they specialize in everything from home remodels and custom additions to outdoor spaces, roofing, flooring, and lots more, all while serving the Richmond community with quality craftsmanship and customer care. Now, he'll go beyond Richmond. You'll just have to talk to him about actually where he does his construction, but I'm sure he will make something happen for you if you want him. And he serves the Richmond, Kentucky community as well as pretty much central Kentucky do their construction needs. He is also the co-host of the Built for This podcast alongside comedian Andrew Conn, where they bring real conversations, humor, and insight to their audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited for us to welcome Tristan Clark in the studio, and he will be joining us after we take a quick break. So when we come back, we will have Tristan Clark in studio. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you, and as promised from the top of the hour, I have special guest Tristan Clark in studio with me. I am very excited for you to be joining us today for this special interview with this very interesting young 22-year-old. Okay, so folks, I'm joined by Tristan Clark here in the studio, and I don't just let anybody on my show because it takes, really, you have to do something that stands out to make me want to have you on the show. And you know what it was that stood out about you?
What was it? That
made me want to have you on the show? I mean, I'm not taking anything away from what you do and your talent and the things you got going on, but what secured it, what made me say I want Tristan on the show was he called me. He picked up the phone and called me instead of, most people will send a text. Most people will, you started off with a message telling me you were interested in coming on, but you said, can I call you? And you called me. And I was like, man, that is so old school. Nobody does that anymore. People are terrified to pick up the phone and call, but you called me. Do you do that with most people? Are you kind of like that type of guy to just, if you want something?
Yeah, I ain't really trying to do a whole lot of texting because I feel like we're just going to go back and forth, and then you might read it and your phone die, or read it and your wife need you to go do something and you just don't have the time to text me back, so we're going to forget about it. So what would take an hour of texting, we can talk about 5-10 minutes and it's done.
Exactly. And we ended up having a pretty good conversation. We talked about 45 minutes about some of the things that you got going on, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely a guy that I want to talk to. Now, you drove up from Richmond, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Now, are you originally from Richmond?
I've lived in Richmond, Lexington, and Berea like my whole life, back and forth between all of them.
Okay, how have you lived in all three your entire life? Just divorced parents? Is that what it is?
No, I was adopted, so I came up to Lexington and stayed with some family, and then we went back down to I moved back down to Richmond, and then then went to Berea. But growing up, my family lived in Berea, and we kept getting evicted and couldn't afford it, and getting one apartment here and then jumping around. Got taken, and then before I got taken, I'd moved back up here to Lexington with some friends and was here for like 8 or 9 months, and then that's how long I think. I was real young, but then we got adopted, so they took me down to Richmond, and then I moved out to actually Waco, which it's a different area code, but it's the same county.
Yeah. So what age were you adopted at?
8 years old.
8, okay.
Yeah, I was 8.
Interesting. And were you adopted along with your brothers too?
No. I got my mom had one other, my dad had one other, and I didn't really know my dad growing up. I met him when I was like 19, but I have one brother I haven't seen since he was 3 years old, but I'm hoping to get famous enough that he's going to be like, damn, I think that's my brother.
Hey, so having adopted parents, though, did you feel some type of way about that growing up? Did people make fun of you for having adopted parents or call you an orphan or anything?
I mean, I think one time I had a kid say, like, at least I wasn't adopted, and then he never said that again.
Yeah, you fixed him. I mean, I know a lot of people who feel some type of way about being adopted, but honestly,
there's good and bads. I mean, the word. I mean, what's pretty cool is like when you become an adult, like if your family like, then you have like 4 parents.
Yeah.
So like it was pretty cool. Like I'd get to go get like a pair of shoes from my mom or my granny or something. But I mean, the worst part about it is like, the pain. You can see the the people you get taken away from. Like the pain. It broke my whole family apart. Like it destroyed everybody. So. But I got lucky to get adopted by some pretty good people, let me see my mother and never try to keep me away from them or anything. Like that was pretty, because a lot of kids that are adopted, like we don't want you. Like we got my woman, she's got her siblings were taken and their parents the adopted parents, they don't really want nobody, like from their biological family around them. So.
Now, I can ask pretty inappropriate questions, and I say that because sometimes I can go a little too deep. So if I'm going too deep, you cut me off and say, hey, I don't feel comfortable talking about that. But what was the reason for the adoption?
We was just poor as shit, man. We was just poor. We didn't have no money. We was parents on drugs. And like when I got taken, like they found like a couple things like applesauce and cinnamon and cereal. I mean, like I grew up like eating my cereal with water. Like that's how we grew up. So, we was pretty. But the one thing, like, my granny, once I started living with my granny, then that's whenever we... like my granny always would make sure we had enough food. Like I remember getting sent home from school with like 2 like blue bags over the weekend of like school food, like cereal, Rice Krispie treats, graham crackers, stuff like that, because they didn't know if I was going to get to eat that weekend. So we grew up like that for a pretty long time. And when I got adopted, man, I walked in the house and I was like, I'm hungry. Can I get a snack or something? And then they like showed me the pantry. I was like, dang, like I can get any of this food.
Wow.
Like open the fridge. I'm like, 2 doors on the fridge is crazy. Like
wow.
Sliding drawer, what is this?
Yeah.
But man, it was hard getting adjusted too. Cause like, it's overload. I grew up like cussing, like listening to 50 Cent. And now I'm in the car listening to like K-Love and stuff. I'm like, what are they talking about? Like going to church on Sunday, like, oh, no, we play outside. We play, like, local basketball on Sunday. No, you're going to church this morning.
Oh, yeah.
What? Can't cuss. Big, going from living like that to Christian life, man, it was hard. It was hard.
But it was good for you, though. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that the way your parents were raising you was worse, but you were able to kind of see a whole different type of lifestyle. And the thing about adopted parents is, you don't get to choose your parents, but when you're adopted, your parents actually do get to choose. So they did choose you.
Yeah.
So don't forget that.
Yeah. Well, I was pretty bad there for a while, and she was telling me, like, she'd always tell me she's going to send me back. She's like, I'm going to send you back. And I was like, man, it ain't like a outfit. You can't, like, return it, you know what I'm saying? But she could, like, my adopted brother who's adopted with me around the same age as you, younger than me, he actually lives with me to this day.
You're 24?
22.
22, okay.
Yeah. He went through 5 different homes. And that, I couldn't handle that, man. That right there, like I've been through about everything I feel like a man can be through in life, besides like a divorce or some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But that man, like, dude, like, you know, he had adopted parents that like rejected him. Like, we don't want this kid, he's weird, and sent him back. That right there is something different I've never been through. I couldn't imagine that, like, you know, that feeling of not being enough. 4 different homes, you know, and I had a buddy. It was weird. Like, my next door neighbors, like, their kids were adopted. So it's like all 5, 6 of us living right there that was adopted. And, you know, I couldn't be a foster parent, man, because I was a badass kid, man. Like,
You don't think you could be a foster parent?
No, I couldn't be a foster parent. I couldn't do that.
Because you're afraid you'd have somebody like you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm like, dude, I couldn't imagine. Like, I tell my mother all the time, I can't believe, like, she was able to put up with me because, dude, like I got a binder. You know, when you do foster care, they give you a binder of all your files and everything. Dude, I had like 70 write-ups one school year.
Wow. Just what were some of those write-ups? Just talking in class, fighting?
Fighting, like, especially daycare, dude. I got like I threw a kid down. I got mad and ran out the facility. I got mad and like ran off and then, you know, just mainly fighting, taking kids' toys, not want to take a nap. Didn't want it. We had like a little computer you could pay like Snake IO or something. I didn't want to get off of that and cussed her out.
Yeah.
Threw my food at a kid, like just dumb, like just bad kid stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, one year, dude, I had like 20 fights there. I was like, man, what in the world? Like, but I hated that place, man. It was down in Richmond. I did not like that place, but yeah, I couldn't handle getting a kid like, you know, because it's hard to change someone when they've been raised like that for 8 years. Mm-hmm. You know, like the most important years of my life. You know, your first 8 years of your life, I forget what they call it, but that's how like it, you know, molds you into who you're going to be.
Yeah, it's the foundation. Do you call your adopted parents mom and dad?
See, what's weird is like when I got adopted, she adopted her grandkids, mm-hmm. and that they were her granny and papa. So that's what I called them, you know. But I talk to someone else, like that's my mom. But when I talk to her, I call her granny because that's what my older sisters called her for, you know, the 7 years I lived there. So.
Now, when you were acting up, were you afraid at any time that they were going to send you away? No. So they made that clear that you're not going anywhere. No, they never made it clear. But I'd had the option to go back to my mother, and I said no. Okay. So they had said your mother's did all her classes. She's back on her feet. She got a full-time job. Do you want to go back? And I said no because, I mean, I'd been, you know, I hated it there. It was more like mental, but like I didn't like running from the police, man. Like hiding drugs in my underwear as a little kid, stuff like that. Man, I didn't want to go through red again, man. Running from I never had to look over my shoulder there. As a kid, you know, you never know, man. My mom's might be, you know, might have a warrant. We got to hop up and go, you know, like all hours of the night, man. Come and wake me up. We got to go, and we're running. And I didn't want to run no more, man. Like the first year of my the first year of my life, I never had to move a home more than 10 times. Wow. So 8 years of my life, I'm moving homes every other month. I didn't move. I've been there 2 years, 3 years. I ain't moved at all. Mm-hmm. Same house, same bedroom for 3 years straight. I'm good here. Do you think that that's what motivated you to want to get out and get more? Like, because at 22, you've got so much going on for you right now. Yeah. Was it just because you wanted to, like, as soon as you turned of age, like 18, like, I want to start my own path, plow my own field? No, I lost everything. I got locked up when I turned 18. About a month after school, I got locked up on some stupid stuff for, like, a couple months, and I lost everything. They told me I was looking at 10 years and everything, and then when I got out, I had kids, man. I had a son on the way. I got to be there for his birth, and I already was raising a kid at 17. So, you know, man, whenever, you know, they're talking about 10 years, you know, you're talking about half my life. Yeah. Over half my life. So I'm 18, so that's over half my life, man. Like, I can't, you know, you're talking about you're going to sentence me half my life. I've already lived. I'm going to be 30 when I get home. I'll be 28. Like, that, you know, when I get out. That scared you, didn't it? Yeah, that set me straight. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm like, okay, man, like, you know, you're talking long time. Yeah. You know, like, my kid's going to be 13 when I get out. Yeah. Like, this is insane. So, you know, I had to get out and get it, man. And I stayed out the way and stopped not hanging out with the wrong people and, you know, not partying, doing anything like that, man. Because I don't think these kids realize that's what comes with it. You know, when you're hanging around people that are partying and fighting and, you know, like, man, I just started doing bad stuff like smoking weed. Mm-hmm. You know, now I ain't got no weed. I got to go get some weed. How can let's take it from a drug dealer. Right. And now we're getting shot at. And, you know, now that, you know, the adrenaline is addicting and you know, hang out with those people that want to do that type of stuff, sell dope, stuff like that, man. Like, these kids got to realize that you're only going to go to dead or in jail. So you were looking at 10 years, but you didn't spend 10 years. No, I did not spend 10 years. How long did you spend? Probably like 3 or 4 months. Okay, that's a lot better than 10 years.
Yeah, no.
So, but that still was enough to be like, I don't want to be in that position again.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But, I mean, it gave me a lot of time to reflect.
Yeah.
Because when I got locked up, I was so mad at the world. Like, oh, this is bull crap. I don't deserve this crap. And I started looking back at things I did and things I didn't get in trouble for, like things I was around and saw happen that, could just – I mean, I met people that was in there just because they was the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
Or argued with their woman and grabbed her by the throat. Now they're sentenced to 3 years in prison, like things like that. So when you see people and, you see people at their lowest and you start to learn real quick, man, in there, like type of people, man, I knew a guy like him, and you see where they're at, their mentality that they're baddest dude around, because there's always someone more bad than you, man, and I had that tough kid syndrome, like I'm some tough guy, and to this day, I don't care to be the toughest guy, dude, you got it, because I know where tough guys go, they go straight to prison, man, so
right.
You got it, so, when you're looking at it a long time, man, it's a feel, when you stand in front of a judge, and she can take 10 years of your life away with just one smack of a gavel,
I know.
Dude, that gut feeling you get, man, is insane.
And people will smart off the judges.
No, I never, man.
They back talk.
I could never do their job.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
You look someone in their eyes, and you, even like if you don't think they done it, and the state's got enough to make it look like they done it, and you got to sentence a man to 3 years, you got to think about how it affects, like, their kids, everything, like. Man, like, why'd you have to be so dumb to do what you just did, man? And you see their kids sitting over here, their mother, their father, everybody, man, they're not going to see them, dude. And, I mean, like, there's drugs, stabbings, fighting, like, when you put a bunch of men in one room, and the beds ain't comfortable, the food's trash, like, man, it just set me straight, man, that, like, I know what I want in life, and I don't, what I care about and what I don't, the haves and the have-nots, and, if I learned in my life to this day, like, if we don't benefit each other and we don't have the same morals, then we don't really need to be around each other. You go find someone else that does stuff you do. Like, people that go out and party every weekend, I don't want them in my life. People that, commit adultery, I don't want them in my life. The people that, don't get up and go work every day, I don't want them. Like, there's no reason for us to be, like, I don't want friends.
Yeah.
I have acquaintances and I have family. Yeah. Family's all I need. I don't need friends.
I like that. I do.
That's just the way I learn.
So when you got out of jail, did you kind of immediately know what you wanted to do to set yourself straight? Did you know what path you wanted to go? 'Cause
I was lost.
You have your own construction company already at age 22. It's called Clark Construction.
Yep.
What age did you start?
19.
Okay, so just a year after your release, pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe less than. And can you talk a little bit about your construction company, what it is and what you do?
Yeah, I mean, we're now looking to, we want to build select homes. Like, we want to build customizable homes, just do concrete, we pour driveways, patios, everything of that nature. And then we want to do like kitchen, baths, and basement remodels and decks. So basically all construction, but we primarily want to focus on building homes and doing like kitchen and bathroom remodels and concrete. Those are the things that we're mainly hitting on, and and then we do buy homes as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, when we were talking before this interview, we talked on the phone a little bit about kind of where you wanted to, what direction you wanted to take that construction company in, and I love some of your ideas. And you mentioned about having a potential or pitching a reality type television show.
Yes.
Where you are going out, you're buying these houses, you're flipping them, and you're selling them.
Yep.
Where did you get that idea?
A mentor. Yeah. A guy from Ohio is doing the same thing. And their family's very oriented, and they're, it's all family based. And I think that's, things that we don't see today. I think that's the thing that, America that we're at fault of, is that everybody thinks when they get 18 they need to leave home. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be like that. This family they're Har family, Tommy Har. I'm not trying to shout out another man, but for what he's done, it's a shout out to him. And his family's all oriented, his brothers, his dad, his mom, and I think that's something that people need to more focus on. Like, when my kids turn 18, they ain't got to get out the house.
Right.
If you're doing good and you got a job, you can be here till you're 25. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I love you.
When is the cutoff, though? You said
25. 25, you got to have it figured out, man. Come on. You've been out of school for, like, what is that, like 7 years. You got to have it figured out now.
Bro, I know people that are still living with their parents way into their 30s, and it's just become more acceptable these days.
I mean, I got to have some privacy, man. Like you know too much now. You know, they're little kids. They don't know too much. You know, I'm trying to have like my friends, you know, my other family members over, like cousins, and you know, like brothers. You know, trying to have them over, man. And me and your uncle's trying to hang out, and you get your wife and girlfriend up to your kids running around my house. Like, come on, man, you gotta have your own house by now. But the reality TV show, man, is more that like I want to show someone at my age doing what I'm doing. You know, I want the world to see that, because I think the youth needs to see someone that's 22, 23 years old flipping houses and stuff. But I want to show the failures of it. I want to show the hardship of it. I want to show my life, because I don't think that there's anyone else doing that.
Right. So you want kind of a mixture of what you do, but your personal life included in there too. Yeah, somewhat. Yeah. Like I want to, like, you know, like I want to have one about me, about the jail. Like I want to take them like to where I grew up, do an episode based around my life. And then I want to do an episode per house, you know, so, you know, document the series throughout the house. And I want to have comedy in there. I want to have big time comedians that I'm connected with, and influencers. I want to have them involved too, you know, because I think we bring them in, it's going to be, you know, add the comedy style to it, you know, because like you said, people don't have the attention span for a long form video. Right. Well, if you're laughing your ass off the whole time, you're probably going to keep watching it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do something like that, and I want to do about first season. I want like 5 episodes per season, and then I'd like to, see where it goes. See if there's a bigger company that wants to back it and push it, and you know, like there's no one in Kentucky doing that. No, there's not. And have you filmed a pilot yet?
No. That's what I was telling you about. I thought I had a smaller company that was going to do it, and I think probably better have a sit down video, or sit down or do like Zoom or something with them to kind of push more towards it. But they kind of aggravated me, because they like, you know, just, you know, I was like, oh man, I just don't think this is going to work for us, because, you know, like they wanted me to basically write the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not a producer, right? I'm focused on. I'm the talent. I'm the talent. I'm the talent. You know, you don't tell a basketball player to join your team and coach it. No, I'm here to play ball and go home. Like, you tell us what we need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, dude, I need a writer. And like, oh man, you're talking about $2,000 for a writer, and I'm like, I'm already paying you, you know, $7,000.
Are there any reality shows that you draw inspiration from that you personally like to watch, that you would kind of maybe like to see your show turn into that? And you can go ahead and say the Kardashians if you want. I mean,
not really, man.
They're obviously on the right path. They've been on for like 100 years.
That's a fact. I mean, you know, like Tommy's hasn't even came out yet. I think it comes out on the 30th. So, you know, I'm going to watch his and see what all they've done. But I mean, right now, no, because I don't really watch TV. Like, I'm more like watch like Stars, Netflix, mm-hmm. and like Disney Plus. I watch things like that, and YouTube. But there's not really a show that has real estate comedy and real life inspirational stuff, because that's something that like I want to get into is public speaking. Mm-hmm. I want to guide you know, confused, misguided you know, young men. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to be a leader to them. I want to show them, you know, the rights and wrongs, like I was telling you, the haves and the have-nots, and you know, and show them that there's a better way than, you know, what is put into this music and put into you know, into the air. You know, there's no reason for all that. So like I'd want to, you know, do a couple, which I mean, my Facebook had just got subscribers. Like, you can subscribe to it now. So that's something I'm gonna start pushing there, is something like that. But I want to have, you know, pieces of the puzzle added into it, you know, of me going in public speaking to these children, and you know, maybe a couple minutes of, you know, raw footage of things like that for them to see in the show as well.
Yeah, I've noticed as a guilty pleasure of mine, sometimes I'll watch reality shows, and I grew up in the 90s, and in the 90s, there was The Real World. There was back when reality TV was very personal. People focused a lot on people's personal lives. So I find that the audience loves professional followings, but they also love it when you incorporate your personal life. So
exactly.
Are you open to letting your personal life be out there like that?
It just demeans how personal. You know what I'm saying? Like
They like it pretty personal.
you know, I mean, they're not going to get no none of that, weird stuff. But I'd be all right, with
The weirder, the better, though. That's the thing about reality TV. Like they want.
It's not OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying?
Well, no, not on a sexual level.
I live a boring life in certain aspects. Like my home life is pretty boring. Like I get out of work, I'm going home. I'm going where I'm safe at. I'm going home. We have like family wrestling matches stuff. Because like I said, my brothers live with me, so like we do that. We have like family, like the kids like to play Fortnite and stuff like that. So we'll do that, and then backyard, and we'll go play basketball, boxing, working out in the garage and stuff. But like I don't have anything super interesting that we do. But then we do take some elaborate vacations. So that stuff right there is fine. But then you got to think about like budget wise. So if a bigger platform was to come in and want to back it, like A&E or somebody, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? We can do it.
Right. You're open to.
I'm open to that. But like we're starting to get into a content house, food reactions, funny video, like challenges and stuff, things like that. So that stuff would be pretty funny. But our family is, like I said, like a lot different than like when I was telling you about like the family up in Ohio. Is like they're all incorporated. Like our family gets together, like our outside of our household family gets together when there's like a someone's birthday or baby shower or wedding. Like that's when we get together. So like I was telling my mother, if we have this reality TV show, we're gonna be around each other a lot more because that, like, you're part of my story as well. You're a real estate agent, and like that needs to be incorporated in this. As you being an older agent, me being a younger, inspiring investor. I think that's a good, jives. So.
Yeah, I mean, and you mentioned also getting into content on social media. The thing about today's world is we don't really need reality television because everybody's kind of got their own platform. And
everybody lives on the screen.
And if you grow that platform, it can be just as powerful as what television can give you. And I started looking through, after you called me, I started looking through your social media and looking at some of your content that you have posted, and just a couple of things I saw. Number one, that Rough and Rowdy brawl that you went to, whatever it was called. What was it? Was it the
redneck brawl?
The redneck brawl. That was awesome. You was posting these videos like before anybody else was.
Exactly. That was the point.
You were getting these matches out there before anybody else was. And what was your favorite fight from that event, though? Was it when the guy broke his leg? Was it when the guy's pants fell down?
I mean, what's crazy is, like, I know all of them.
How do you know all these guys?
Dude, I don't know, man. Like, I've only been doing content since February. And, I mean, in March, I'm hanging out. In February, I'm hanging out with guys that have got, 300,000 followers. And just being myself and being a good businessman. I'm not trying to take advantage of these people. I understand their time is valuable, and people got to understand people that do content don't make a whole lot of money, man.
Right.
They're not millionaires. They're not. Back in the day, I know some people that were making $30,000 a month. That's insane money. I mean, that's multi-millionaire money, and they started monetizing so many people that now they don't pay as much. So. I just met all these people, man, by networking. Like I did, like how I met you and how I'm here. I didn't think I was gonna be on a radio station, at 22. So just networking and and letting people know that you appreciate them. When you appreciate someone and you respect them, let's do business.
Yeah.
It's a mutual understanding, like that we benefit each other. So, like when I got there, it was me and my old lady. Our favorite fight probably was.
I love how he calls her the old lady. That's so
old
Southern.
Lady.
Old lady. Okay. Old
she ain't
lady.
old. It's the old lady.
Old lady. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's my woman, man. That's mine. I would say my favorite fight from the Redneck Brawl in Tennessee would have been. It's got to be Sasquatch and Big R, man, when they fell over the ropes. That was crazy. I never seen some stuff like that before.
Yeah.
So, like, they're bumping and, like sumo wrestling. So, went over once, went over again, and, like, and then hit him back of the head, cheap shot him, knocked him out. Like, that right there was some stuff. So, that right there would have been mine. And, I posted those, and that right there really gave me the boost that I needed, because I was averaging 1,000 to 2,000 views which I don't know though, man. I started posting some comedy videos before the comedy. I was averaging 1 to 2K. And then my comedy videos were averaging 6 to 7K, and I only got 2,000 followers. So now I'm averaging 5 every single video, and it's, this is 2 weeks after the Redneck Brawl, so I'm hoping it'll stay like that, because I really do, give my all into the videos, and I want to do everything. When I met everybody doing content, man, you need to focus on one thing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to focus on one thing. I want to be able to give the construction people the construction videos, and then I want to be able to give the people that want to buy houses and learn how to buy houses and do what I do. I want those people. I don't want to stick to just one, and it's hard, and I'm not scared of hard.
Well, no, and you've got your hand in different things. You've also got a podcast that you do with the guy who actually did the commentary and the announcing for the Rough and Rowdy Brawl, Andrew Conn.
Yep.
And how long have you guys been doing this podcast? Can you talk a little bit about it and what it's about?
It's called The Built for This Podcast. So I have a buddy who does one in London, Kentucky, or Corbin, Kentucky. He's a good buddy of mine, Barrett Freeman. Shout out Barrett. Great guy. He started his, and I went up there, and he was my first one was ever with him. It ain't even came out. We're going to redo it now that we got more to talk about, since I've started doing a lot more. We were, doing the podcast, and they had a show, and I went up there, and like I said, I'm just not afraid to talk to somebody. So I went up to him, and I'm like, hey man, how are you doing, man? I would love to do some videos with you. I love what you're doing, what you're doing. You're funny as hell. So I think that I'd love to do some reels with you, man. If I'm not busy, man, you're in Lexington, hit me up, or if you're in Nicholasville, let's do one. And that happened. And I had a guy I was gonna do a podcast with, and he ended up he's saying he's moving to Florida, so he couldn't do it no more. And I called my buddy Barrett, and I was like, man, I need to get another co-host. And he shot some names, and in my head I was already thinking, and he said it, and I was like, okay, Andrew, all right, cool. I hit Andrew up, man, and it took us 2 months of talking, negotiating, going back and forth, and now we've been doing it for this right here's our second month. We did all of April. We've done about 8 weeks, and we film 4 hours every single Tuesday. So
nice.
Now we're getting into, it's coming up to be the third month, and we just missed our first Tuesday because I was super busy with business. It was our first Tuesday we ever missed, and we got a really, really big one coming up. We're going down to Tennessee, down to Nashville, and we've got some crazy big-time celebrities that we're going to have on, and it's going to be the biggest one yet. That right there is going to be a 2-day trip. We're going to be down there for about 4 hours of filming, and then we're going to be networking with a couple more people, getting them lined up. But one thing that's different about our podcast is there's nothing filtered.
Right.
We're telling the real side of people's lives. We're going to be asking questions that not a lot of people ask, and and we're going to be, it's not all about us. We're going to shout those people out as well. Young artists that are up and coming, we got coming on, people that are, building a brand, people that are campaigning politics. I got a guy that's running for mayor in Richmond coming on. We had Doug Thomas that just won Jailer. He was on our podcast, and he won. So, we want every side of the world. We're not just content creators. We want people that have been shot, people that have lived through traumatic experiences, people that have the hardest job, people that are coroners, ER nurses. That's the difference with our podcast and a lot of other people, is it's not stuck to one genre of people. I don't care what your background is. I don't care if you was a big-time drug dealer and went to prison for 10 years.
Right.
Come on and talk.
Right. And you say are they 4 hour episodes, or do you shoot for 4 hours and you go?
4 hours for different individuals.
Okay.
And then sometimes just us, of course. People just want to see Andrew, and I'm fine with that. We had one day that we just filmed just me and him the whole day. Took breaks here and there and whatnot, but we're doing a lot more than the podcast. We're going to start doing a lot of community outreach,
Now, I remember seeing Andrew's videos back in 2016. I believe that's kind of around the time he started, maybe a little before that.
That's about right. He said about 10 years, so yeah.
Yeah, ain't that wild? That's 10 years ago. But yes, I remember seeing him and had no idea he was from Kentucky. And I just seen his videos, and then I was like, dude, I just in my mind, because I am from Eastern Kentucky. I grew up in the head of a holler, and I was like, he's got to be from my area. I just never did.
What part are you from?
And So not County, Kentucky. That's
yeah, you told me that. You told me that. Yeah.
It's southeast. It's near Floyd County, Perry County, which is Hazard and all that. So I mean, it's really Appalachian.
Yeah, it is.
What part is he from?
I think he's from. I can't even remember, man. I think he's from like Fletcherfield or something. I can't remember.
Maybe Letcher County.
Yeah, maybe Letcher County.
Yeah,
I can't
Letcher
remember.
County.
I can't remember. He's from out there. But you know, like I don't know. I didn't grow up like that, man. Like I don't have a country accent.
No,
I didn't grow up country like that.
No, and you can't hide it when you have one like you have it. It's just a part of you. It's ingrained in you.
And I hate that, man. I meet a lot of people that try to like discriminate me, like, oh, he's trying to act. You know, they try to say I'm trying to act like another race or stuff like that or and whatnot. But like, this is just me. Like I don't have a country accent. Don't have nothing to hide. I'm just being me. Mm-hmm. You know, like. You like if I sound like you really know it. And I'd sound like this all day long, 24/7, 365.
Right. So
I wish that I grew up. You know,
do you really wish you grew up with a Southern accent?
No. I wasn't going to say that now. Yeah. I like my accent. No, like. So when I lived in Waco, that's pretty country. You know, it's not like in a holler, but it's pretty country. Like there's a lot of. It's all farmland and, you know, trailer parks, and then it has really nice areas, and then it has really rundown areas like, you know, like I said, trailer parks. But everyone around me had an accent. Even like in Lexington, people had accents. I just never have. Like, dude, like my dad, like my adopted parents, biological parents, they all got, you know, country hillbilly accents. Everyone in my whole family around me has them except me. I do not have it. I don't know if it just didn't like me. I don't know if it didn't. I guess it just didn't like me, man.
Well, it's something you can always tell when people are trying to fake one or they're trying to make themselves have one.
There's a couple people that do content that fake them.
Oh, yeah. And that's how I knew when I was watching Andrew's videos. I was like, okay, he has to be from where I'm from.
No, he is, man. He has a crazy one.
Yeah.
You know, but when we started our podcast, you know, we talk all the time about goals with it and whatnot. And, you know, we're going to have the largest podcast in the state of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. We're going to have the largest podcast. We have gained, you know, we haven't gained a whole lot of followers, but our views is already up 4,000 per episode. And, you know, we're gaining like 10 to 15, 20 followers like a week right now. But we got some ones that are coming out that are gonna you know take us to that next level.
Well, and what I like about your podcast is Andrew.
Did you watch it?
I did, and Andrew has 1.9 million followers on Facebook. Mm-hmm. You're not using that. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of trying to plow your own field with what you got, trying to have authentic followers first. Now, does he cross promote at all your all show on his comedy content?
I mean, like, we'll just say new episode, you know, and we'll just tag him, and it just, you know, like he'll make a post, you know, go watch it, you know, just one time. But, you know, most of his, you know, followers like his skits, you know, his funny roast videos or reactions.
Yeah,
so
they're funny.
You know, like we filmed one video, it got like 20,000 views of like, you know, hey guys, we just filmed, like we'll do one here and there, but you know, like me, him, like we're not trying to push everybody from his page to come follow it. You know, the people that really are real supporters of Andrew will come support the podcast that he's a part of, and if they don't, we're going to gain our own people that like our videos and stuff. We haven't even started putting shorts out, man. Like once those start coming out and we're pumping these shorts out left and right, it's to the next level. But right now, we're taking it slow, making sure that our relationship jives, make sure that there's longevity here before we really start putting crazy amount of time, money into this.
Well, I'm excited to make an appearance on this podcast, man. You mentioned cross-promoting, and I think that would just be great because you could get my listeners to tune into your stuff. They like what they hear, which I'm sure they will, because I feel like that we probably have a lot of my people will like your all stuff too.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Didn't your podcast win, or didn't your episode, didn't it win like an award or something?
It did, man. It won at the World Entertainment Awards. It won Podcast of the Year in Los Angeles. It was back in January.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I put myself in for submission, and I was like, I'll never get nominated, right? Because it's such a popular category. Everybody's got a podcast. I was like, I won't even get nominated. I got nominated, and I said, I'm not going to go because I'm not going to win. That's a lot of money to fly out there and everything. And I'm watching it on, they have it streaming online, and they called my name, and I was happy but mad at the same time.
You
because
wasn't there.
I wasn't there. So I was
Imagine that walk up there.
oh, bro, I know. And then I'm awaiting the nominations for an award show in Nashville at the Grand Ole Opry. I've been nominated for the last couple of years for Show of the Year, never won. Those are supposed to be released in a couple of weeks if I get nominated again. I think this year I've put together the best set of episodes I've ever done. So
who have you had on here?
If I don't win this year, I'm never going to get it. Man, I'm kind of like the way you do yours. I don't limit it to just musicians. I've had so many musicians on, I can't even begin to tell you who all has been on here. I've had probably over 200 musicians come on the show. But I've had wrestlers come on the show.
Like who?
Have you ever heard of Terry Reynolds? She accompanied Goldust to the ring. She was known as Marlena back in the day. I had her on. I've had a few actors come on. People like, I don't know if you watch Better Call Saul from Breaking Bad.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, I had a few actors because that was my favorite show, Better Call Saul. So I started hitting up actors from that show to come on. You'll be surprised who will come on if you just ask. Just ask, and you'll be surprised.
My thing is like I've asked a couple bigger people, but almost everybody we've had on, like Justin Johnson, Kevin Thomas, I had them come on, Doug, like everybody that we've had on. We had Billy Hubbard and Tara Paget come on. Everybody I've asked, has came on, but I've had a couple people, man, that like just didn't reply. So, like you would think that I'd be using Andrew's page to get people to come on. Like I don't.
No.
Like the people in Nashville, he did reach out to, but I haven't really, I don't really try to I utilize it with respect.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like everybody would think that, oh, this guy's got too many followers, just let him, tell him to do everything. No, man, it's not his job. This is our podcast, but I'm the backbone. I'm the one trying to push this thing to be the greatest thing it can be, So at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and rely on another man, because what if he don't want to do it no more?
Right.
I'm stuck here No,
the show goes on.
That's the biggest thing I always say. The show, I just said it today. The show goes on.
The show goes on. Listen, I had a co-host, and it was a really good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. Her and I were friends probably, I would say, 20 years. And, we met in the third grade. And we always had really good banter. And she was my best friend in the world, man. And we had a falling out. And that's a long story. If I had another hour with you, because it would take that long to go over the story. But we no longer talk, period. And a lot of people thought that the show would end when she left, because it was really our show. It was branded as kind of our thing, but it was my show. Mm-hmm. And when she quit, I never missed a beat. And I never gave no explanation as to why she left. I never mentioned her. I acted like she didn't exist.
Exactly.
Because the show is called Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. And it was always called Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, with her on it, with her not on it. And I think that bothered her a lot. And it seemed like when she quit, the show started having more success. It won Podcast of the Year at the Lexington Music Awards.
It makes her mad.
You know it does. Now we blocked her. We blocked each other on social media, so I don't really know what all she sees. There's always a way people can still find out what you're doing. Always a way. And I feel like that people. Man, I don't know.
It's ego, man.
Ego.
It's like I was telling you, my dad worked for me, and I fired my dad over ego. I met him when I was 19. His boss ran the company in the ground. He came to work for me. I started working it, man, and it was just always about money. I'm not making enough money. At one point I was paying him $1,700 a week. That wasn't enough money. Are you crazy, dude?
Yeah.
because of what someone else gave him more, he thought he could get more. And I know now to this day that it eats him up. And I know down to this day that he knows that he did wrong. And every chance I get, I'm going to put it on social media because I think people should understand that when you mix family with business, it tests a relationship. You know, I have people that are family that work for me, and I know that there's times it tests their love for me, and it's time that, you know, they test my love for them. Because at the end of the day, money is the root of all evil, and money runs the world. So you put two and two together. So when you start, you know, man, his name's on it, not mine. You know, you need to add my name on the podcast too. You know, like the cover of our podcast is both of us.
Right.
It's the face of both of us. Both our names is in the bio. Every single one of them has each of us tagged because both of us are showing up. If you show up, you know, that's enough. But I didn't, like if I want to start a podcast by myself or with somebody else, I can do that.
Yeah.
He does it. He can do it. There's no exclusivity because I don't think that's like, it's at the end of the day, like why did it matter that her name wasn't on it? She's in every episode, right? You didn't do an episode without her, did you?
Nope.
I let Andrew do a episode with another guy without me.
Yeah.
Why does it matter? It's business at the end of the day. People are going to show up. If people are going to support you, they're going to support you, her, you know, every which way. So, like, I think it's, you know, it's just part of it, man. Like, whenever you get family involved or friendship, man, whenever that business ends, you can about bet your rear end that the relationship y'all had prior to or after it's gone. Go ahead and, you know, wave it.
No, absolutely. And I think her ego, she thought really when she left, the show would just fall apart, which drove me even further to want to succeed and to get it out in front of more people. And watch this. And yeah. And,
man, I know you wish you was in L.A. and looked at the camera.
Oh, my God.
Just pointed right at the camera like, you know. I'd have been like, you know who you are.
Man, I put my stuff in for that award show for next year, and they usually release the nominations around like October, November.
Yeah.
If I get nominated, I'm going. I'm flying out there. I'm going.
Yeah, we're my construction business is running for best construction company of Madison County, and the voting's in on the 22nd. So that is tomorrow. So it ends tomorrow, and we find out I think in August who wins. So
nice,
I
best
hope,
of Richmond. So
we've won best of Berea past 3 years.
Well, my show, I got best local radio host of Best of Lex. I don't know if you've seen that. It was released a couple weeks ago. They named me best local radio host, Best of Lex.
That's fire, man.
And I came in number 2 for best podcast. KSR beat me. They got number 1.
Who's that?
Kentucky Sports Radio, Matt Jones.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
It's a cult following, bro. And me and Matt have won. I'm telling you, we've had a few words on each other's shows about each other because of my take on his takes are always opposite. So I'm always complaining about Mark Stoops and the things that he loves, I hate.
So glad he's gone.
Oh, God. Me too. And I mean, I was calling for his job after his 3rd year here, and I will still say that he's done nothing for the program. He won 7 games, but what is that? I mean, he never even got us in the top 5. He never had us in the playoffs. I don't see how you could build a statue about a man that's not done anything like that. So I don't want to get off the air without having you give an opportunity for people to follow you and reach out to you, whether it be booking a slot on your show or maybe getting into construction or wanting to have their house worked on or their house flipped. So tell the audience how they can reach you, the best way to reach you, and the best way to get in touch with you.
Yeah. So like you can follow me on Facebook at Tristan Clark. And then, you know, if you look up, you know, top general contractor near me, you're going to see me. But you can give us a call at 859-893-1006. We do, anything that you need done to your home. Pour you a driveway, build you a deck, paint your whole house, give you a bathroom, kitchen, basement remodel. And then, if you need your house residing, new roof, anything like that, we can get you taken care of. You're not going to find anybody else that, gives as much love into it as we do. We're family-owned, local business-owned. It's me, my wife, and my brothers, and my other brother. So, it's us, and we give our all to it. And, we're here to help the community. We've done so many projects for, people that were in devastated situations, their house flooded. Mm-hmm. We did the Beattyville post office whenever it flooded, went down there and got it taken care of, dried it up. things like that. We really care about the community, and that's what we're here for. And then they can also follow our podcast at the Built for This podcast on Facebook. Everything we do is on Facebook.
Okay.
But we post on Facebook, but it goes over to Instagram as well. But my Facebook is mainly we're going to see like behind the scenes work, educational videos, funny skits, things to make you laugh. And if you're in a bad mood, you watch my videos, you're going to laugh.
Okay.
That's a guarantee.
Do you have one handle for all of your social media, like Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, Tristan Clark _1 is on Instagram. But if you just look up Tristan Clark, you'll see a picture of me and my 2 children. And
nice.
That's it.
And how old's your kids?
I got a 4. He just turned 5, man, in May. 5 and a 3-year-old. My 3-year-old turned 4 in December.
Nice. And you're married, you said.
We're not married,
Okay.
but we've been together for going on 5 years.
So you just call her your wife.
Yeah.
It's in the future. She's definitely a future wife.
Yeah, no, she definitely is.
Yeah, what you're saying. Yeah, man. Well, that's awesome. And you also brought your buddy Logan Krebs in the studio. Now, are you involved at all with what Tristan does?
Yeah, I work with him.
Nice. So do you just do a lot of videography and things like that for him?
I help him out with the social media side too, but I do a lot of construction stuff as well.
Oh, nice.
A lot of demolition, and I'm in the process of learning, actually. I just got into construction. I moved up here in November.
Okay.
So
From?
I'm from Indiana.
Okay.
Also from North Carolina.
Nice.
And Ohio. I'm everywhere too, yeah. I've been everywhere as well.
Nice. Now, how'd you two meet?
We met on Snapchat.
I'll let you talk
We
about
met on
it.
Snapchat. We was young and dumb, and he lived in North Carolina, and we was like talking smack to each other on social media. We was hating on each other on the videos,
Yeah,
and
seriously.
he was
I love
like,
that.
he's like, man, I ain't got time for this crap, man. This is childish. And normally people are going to talk back tough, and I was like, dang, I like that. And we just started like. He always did this thing called streaks or something. I never did it before, and he was always sending it,
Yeah.
and I started replying, and we started talking back and forth, and then we stayed in touch for a long time, and
That's awesome.
he moved to Indiana, and then he was working there, and I
Gave me a really good opportunity, and I'm glad I took it.
Nice. So you live in Kentucky now.
It was
Yeah, I live in
Richmond.
Richmond now.
Very nice, bro. See, I mean, social media brings people together. It can
It does.
sure. Yes, sir,
It
it
changed
does.
the world, man.
It definitely does.
It made it to where nobody in the world is a stranger.
Nope.
And you can kind of put yourself in the shoes of anybody when you look at their content. To, for instance, I follow people from Bangladesh on
That's crazy.
social media, and I can easily see what their lifestyle is like across the waters, man, in Bangladesh, and be friends with people from different countries. So I love social media. It changed the world.
It is.
I love
and the fact people can make money from it. It's crazy. I mean, it's you can go over people. There is overnight success on the internet.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And like I said, it can be more powerful than television. It can be more powerful than radio. It's a platform if you use it right.
I'm surprised people still listen to the radio. I use Spotify.
People don't really listen to the radio. The radio, my biggest audience is from the podcasting numbers. So I get an audience from the radio affiliates that I do.
Right.
But if I download the analytics from my podcast, it doubles. Because people like streaming, they like on demand.
So what can they watch it on?
They don't want to listen from 4 to 5. So my show you can't. Well, I guess you can watch on YouTube.
Well, can you listen to it? Where can you listen to it?
Apple, YouTube, Spotify, all podcasting platforms.
Okay.
Yeah, and Apple seems to be the one that most people listen to. I get a few Spotify. I've got my stuff on iHeart, but Apple, it seems like, is the biggest one. I guess most of my listeners are iPhone users. I am trying to get I'm trying to build my female audience. A lot of males listen to this show, which I appreciate the males listening, and I love it, and I get it. It could be more relatable to males, but I'm trying to get my female audience because I've learned something. If you're ever going to succeed in anything, you have to have a female fan base. You have to have a female fan base. They're the ones that's going to buy your stuff. I mean, any musician don't make it without a female fan base.
85% of people that watch my content are men.
Well, mine's not that high. I'd say about 70%, 65% are men for mine.
Okay.
So we both got to figure something out.
Dude, I don't know. I guess I'm ugly. Maybe they want to watch it because they think I'm handsome or something. I don't know, man. It's I get on there and I look too, and it's
It's like, come on.
I mean, like, they don't want to see houses and stuff,
Right.
man. Like, they, like, that's what I'm saying. I want to do a TV show so that they can see before and afters, because that's what women want to see. They want to see a pretty sleek house.
Yeah.
They want to see that. So that's why I'm trying to get that, because most of the time we film a funny video or whatnot is like a walkthrough throughout the house.
Yeah.
It's never really like when they do TV, like, we're going to be able to make set points that we can film, like, in the kitchen, the bathrooms, things like that. Because when you film a TV show, you're not filming it while guys are running saws and stuff. It's when no one's there.
Yeah.
It's when we'd film there, because it'd be too hard when we got, like, a bunch of people running around the house and stuff. So I feel like that will draw more of the woman audience to the TV show.
Well, folks, check out his podcast. It's called Built for This Podcast.
Yep.
It's available on Facebook. You heard him where you could find him.
Yep.
Hit him up for all your construction needs. He's got a good team with Logan leading the way with him. And it was awesome meeting you, man. I want to thank you for taking out the time. We've actually been here for 50 minutes talking.
That's awesome.
And this show is an hour, and they do cut us off after that time.
Yep.
But I could talk to you another hour, man. So maybe we can do a part 2.
Let's do it.
Somewhere down the line.
If you need a guest on, you got my number.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe even special guest co-host. Because sometimes where I do this solo, I like to have people come on and help me co-host, depending on the topic. So if there's
get some AC in here, I'll be here.
Bro. Ain't that, yeah.
It is toasty.
It is
I'll take my shirt off.
Yeah. Get my female listeners up. Maybe that's what we need. So
His wife might get mad now.
that's what I'm saying. So, but yeah, man, it was awesome. And I want to thank you too, Logan,
no problem,
for
man.
showing up. It was awesome.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome back anytime as well. But yeah, man, is there anything that you want to tell my audience before we sign off?
Just, if you need anything, give me a call, and, to tune in, man, watch them. And if you guys want me back, let him know if y'all want me back.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm sure they will. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was Tristan Clark and Logan Krebs joining me today here on Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. This episode will be available. If you missed it on today's show, it will be available on all podcasting platforms. Tristan, thank you so much, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's been an honor.
Thank you for having us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up another episode of Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. If you liked what you heard today, you'll probably like all of our previous episodes. We archive them all on podcast, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you stream your favorite podcast. You can follow me, the show host, on social media at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. You can follow the show on social media at The Adam Banks. We release new episodes every Thursday from 4 to 5 right here on WLXU 93.9 FM, which means we will be back same time, same place. Special thank you to my guest today, Tristan Clark. Folks, we will be back next week. I am the king of radio, Adam Banks, and this is Off the Cuff. I'll catch you down the road.
Everybody stops and staring